I can understand why men have given up dating because can someone make it make sense for me how these women want men to text them back fast, but not too fast, that it's too creepy. They want men to make six figures while working 20 hours a week while they still have quality time with them. If he has a good relationship with his mom, then that means he treats women well. But if he doesn't have a relationship with his mom, then that means he's automatically abusive. But then she doesn't want to ever talk about her daddy issues. If he's too nice and too kind, then that means that he wants something from you, or, there's an assumption that he's just buying you gifts and whining and dining you because he wants sex. But if he doesn't wine and dine you, then he's lazy, he doesn't care, and he's not putting in enough effort. You want men to lead, but you don't want to listen. You want men to show their masculinity and take charge and plan dates, but not too much masculinity that he comes off as aggressive, mean, rude, or condescending. You want men to be in tune with your emotions, but if he's too emotional, then he's weak and you don't trust him to make decisions and lead. He has to be attractive, but not too attractive that he looks like a fuck boy or somebody that gets around, because if he's too attractive, then he has too many options. But if he's not attractive enough, then you're not even looking in his direction. If he has a child and a baby mom, then you automatically assume that what baby mom would want to be single, and that makes him toxic. But if he's never been married or in a committed relationship, then that also makes him toxic, and that's a red flag because he's never been in a relationship before. You want men to initiate the dating stages of a relationship. You want men to initiate sex, but then when he stops initiating sex, then you assume that he's cheating on you. You want men to be honest and open and upfront, but your idea of honest and open and upfront is basically him telling you only the truth that validate your feelings and your experiences, because the moment that he invalidates how you feel, now he's narcissistic, he's abusive, and he's mentally and emotionally using you and abusing you. These women will always say that they want men to be themselves and be authentic to who they are, but then there's an entire list of icks, like wearing sandals in winter, or him just getting coffee, or him getting sepsis, and you think it's funny and you're posting it on social media. But the moment that he posts an ugly picture of you on social media, now he's a piece of crap and he's picked the wrong picture, and now you feel bad about yourself. If he dresses well and he takes care of himself, then he's too feminine and he's trying to show off. But if he doesn't dress well enough and he doesn't show off and he dresses average, then he looks like a broke ass loser bum, and you want nothing to do with him. You want that man to have hobbies like going to play golf or gaming, but if he games too much or plays golf too much, or it inconveniences your lifestyle or what you have going on, now you're pissed off. But if he doesn't have any hobbies, then he's a loser because he's too obsessed with you. But if he has too many hobbies and takes away time from you, then he doesn't care enough. If a man respects a woman's boundaries, then he's being too creepy because he's just too good of a man. But if he doesn't respect her boundaries, then he's likely to abuse her or SA her later on down the road. If a man speaks loud, then that means that he's aggressive. If he speaks too soft, then that means he's too feminine. Women expect constant attention and praise all of the time. So if you give too much, then you're trying too hard. But if you give too little, then you're a lazy bum and you don't match the guys in her DMs. These women don't want men to be manipulative or liars or cheaters, but they'll turn around and show their butt cheeks online and call it, body positivity, to basically cheat on you and be narcissistic, but then it's still all of your fault. And the sad reality is that you could give a woman everything that she could ever dream of: the house, the money, the cars, the emotional stability. You could provide, you could protect, you could check all of the boxes down the list. And guess what? She's going to turn around and say that she's bored, she's uninspired, she's not attracted to you. She's going to cheat on you with the next guy down the street who has no job, all because Susie Q has a better life on Instagram. But not only that, when she says that she's unhappy, she's going to get online and talk about how you're a narcissist, how you're abusive, even though you gave her everything that she could ever want. And every single step of the way that the goalpost changed, or the expectation, especially unrealistic expectations, changed, you gave it to her and it still wasn't enough. So yeah, if anyone is ever wondering why men have stopped dating, this is a perfect example, because even as a woman, if you really sit back and look at it, it's so unrealistic and it's so delusional and it's so narcissistic that who the hell would want to put themselves through this? And it makes sense when you really think about it, because none of it actually makes sense. Women don't actually know what they want. They love the highs and lows of being incompatible with the wrong people instead of just being at peace, and then they blame the men for the unfulfillment and the lack of peace within their lives, even though they're the ones creating this diabolical cycle over and over with different men. Okay, bye.
Unfortunately, this is so accurate. Listen to what she says. They want, and only want. They want what they want until they don't want it anymore. Nothing is ever enough. You talk online and meet them in person, and the Disney fairy tale isn't met, and their mindset totally shifts. They will always find the loophole of being unfulfilled. They have 117 rules that they don't have to follow, but men need to. No wonder men check out and are happy about it too.
All right, listen, I'm done. I can't do it anymore. You won, ladies. I'm done dating. I can't do it. The dating world's so bad. I can't. Do I got food pantry stamped on my forehead? Somebody answer me that question, because the amount of food and mouths I fed going out on dates, that's how I feel. I could give hams to the homeless this year for Christmas with the amount of mouths that I fed going on first. I could be driving a Ferrari. I could be driving a Ferrari right now with the amount of money I spent on first dates. I can't take it anymore. And listen, I get it.
This is exactly why a lot of men are just done with dating. They're frustrated because they're doing what they think they're supposed to be doing. They are putting a lot of time and effort and money into the first date. But when ladies don't appreciate that and they go into those first dates with very low energy and very little reciprocation, the date is not going to go well. And that just leads to a lot of these failed first dates. But for women, they will just keep going on these first dates because they're not really putting anything into it. It's different for men, which is why men are becoming more and more careful about who they're asking out on that first date and what that first date looks like. He might rather suggest a coffee date or a long walk. And I think that those are good solutions for men. But the problem is that a lot of women still have not adjusted to it. They think that if a man doesn't spend a ton of money on her on the first date, that he either doesn't have it or doesn't like her very much. Not true, ladies. He's probably just a good man that's tired of feeling used.
If she doesn't want a coffee date, hang up.
All women are 304s. Nope. There is no such thing as traditional women anymore. Wrong. Women simply aren't worth it. What does that even mean? I am so tired of all of this negativity. Are you going to insist that masculinity is about growth, suffering, and overcoming difficult things, and then just not date because it's hard? Are some of you really so pessimistic and self-hating that you will just resign yourself to never feeling love and affection? Are you really going to sit here and insist that you have all of the answers to dating, and then just refuse to pass those answers on to a woman who is ready and willing to please you? Tell me, what battle are you even fighting? You insist there's a problem, but you aren't trying to actually solve it? What is the point of all of this other than to just kick and scream? There are a lot of great women out there looking for men with your values. Go meet them, be strong in your convictions, and enjoy the life that you can create with them. Because the negativity has got to stop.
To be totally honest, we don't have to put up with lectures like this.
There was a study done in the 90s, and what they found out, I think, still holds true today. So what they did is they took a group of men and they took a group of women and they categorized these men. So it was like high status, t-shirt, McDonald's. Same thing with the women. High status, t-shirt, McDonald's. And then they asked, the men, okay, would you go to coffee with this person, go on a date, marry? And in all three categories, the guy didn't care. He's like, yes, sure, whatever. With women, it was a whole different story. Women went to the high status man for the majority of them. So that was for coffee, date, marriage. My takeaway on this is just goes along with the trends I've been seeing. So we are in this Kardashian culture and have been for, 10 years. I don't know how long they've been on. But this idea of perfection has just been kind of unseen before. I mean, before we had magazines, we knew they were kind of airbrushed, but what we see now, women are doing eyebrows, microblading, dermaplaning, eyelash extensions, hair extensions, lip fillers, cheek fillers, breast implants, butt implants, fat transfer, taking ribs out. I mean, literally women are taking their ribs out. So I think just the pressure and the unattainable like beauty that they put on themselves, they're also putting that sort of unattainable image and desire on a guy as well. And that's why these guys are backing out, because guys know, like, that's crazy. Like, we can't do all that. Like, some can. I mean, it's the small minority can do that, but for the majority of men, they're not going to be able to get to your high standards that you not only put on yourself, but you're putting on these men too. And I don't even know if women are aware that they're doing that. And if you think about it, it's really a beautiful thing that men will just kind of take you as you are. Like, they don't need you to be high status, or they don't care where you work. If you work at McDonald's or you're making six figures and some executive of a company. But look at what we're doing to men. We want them to just be everything. It's unattainable. They're getting out of the market, and rightfully so. So I even asked my brother about this. I said, hey, is this true? Like, men don't care? He's like, 1,000%. Men could give two shits. And I was like, that's going to be a topic then.
Exactly this. Women have built unattainable standards for themselves and expect the same from men. Ribs removed, fillers, perfection everywhere. Meanwhile, men don't care about status or appearance. They just want someone real. This Kardashian culture fantasy is backfiring. Men are checked out, leaving women frustrated and alone. Wake up, reality is harsh, and honestly, maybe it's already too late.
When men say they're done with dating, that doesn't mean they're done with relationships. It doesn't mean they're giving up on starting families. It doesn't mean anything like that. It just means they're done with dating, okay? And I think a lot of them have a hard time verbalizing this, so that's what I'm going to try to do in this video. Now, there's a little bit of an unwritten rule that men are starting to understand about dating, and you've probably heard people say this in the past. If not, you're going to hear it now, but the only winning move is to not play. You know, in regards to dating, the only winning move is to not play. That's what men are starting to realize. Again, like I said, relationships are fine. Families, fine. Dating, not good. Let me explain why. And this is the part that a lot of people have a hard time verbalizing. This is the dating experience for a man who's actually dating. It could be with your wife, it could be with your girlfriend, it could be a woman that you just met, you know, somebody on Tinder that you're taking out on a first date, whatever. Typically, you have to find a nice little venue to go to. You know, you might just go to dinner, but typically you want to go out and have a good time. So you find a nice venue with good music that you like. You pick her up, you drive to the venue, you park, you know, you pay her $10 to park or whatever, and then you walk to the front door and you wait in line. It's not the greatest experience, but you do what you have to do. Then finally you get to the door. And when you get to the door, there's some 7-foot monster roided up standing there, and he looks at your girl and he says, "You're good," and he throws her a compliment, compliments her looks a little bit. You know, "You're good, looking good tonight. You can go in." And then he looks at you, the man, and he says, "That'll be $20 for you, dirtbag." Maybe it's not that harsh. You know, sometimes it's not that harsh. Sometimes it's even more harsh than that. But I'm not talking about the words here. It's the action. And the action is she gets in free, and the man has to pay $20 to get in, $25, sometimes higher, to get in. Now, everybody knows this is true. They have ladies' night, and you know, things like this happen. And we've just grown to expect it. This is the norm. But every man knows when he's at the front door and his girl can go in for free, and he just has this cuckoning moment, you know, this humiliating moment where it's like, she can go in, but I'm so unwanted here that I have to pay. And that's the way the system is set up. That's the way the dating market is set up. Men are not wanted there. Okay, just like this venue. Why do they have this set up? Because women are wanted there. Men are not wanted there. So they put a paywall there to prevent at least broke men from coming in. And by the way, they don't want alphas in there. They don't want charismatic chads in there. They don't want pickup artists in there. No, they want guys in there that will spend their money, guys that will fork out their cash. So they want a bunch of women. They'll fill the place to maximum capacity with women, and they'll let a few guys in, you know, a few suckers in to come in and blow all their money. And men finally started to wake up. You know, they finally started to understand that they go out there and they're not wanted. It has literally nothing to do with women. Okay, it's not all these people that are trying to make it a man versus woman thing. That's stupid.
Relationships today have a terrible ROI. Men can adopt a child, own a dog, and rent a date by the hour and still keep his peace, his happiness, and his finances. Men are done getting played in the dating circus, paying, bending over, performing, all for women who are wanted automatically while men are treated like expendable wallets. It's humiliating, exhausting, and pointless. No wonder men are checking out of dating entirely. Stop blaming men. The system rewards women and punishes men, and men are done playing that rigged game.
A third of men, 33%, a little over a third, of men between the ages of 18 and 29 are not only single, but they're not actively looking for a partner. So I've got a question for the men. So my comments are filled with guys saying we're done. We're not looking, we like our peace. I need some more talk from you guys. Tell me why you're done.
There are no benefits to dating, relationships, or marriage anymore. Females have huge body counts and are far too entitled. We want peace, loyalty, respect, and love. We get none of that today.
Women need to start making the first move. If anyone wants to be in a relationship, that's absolutely what has to happen. It just has to happen. Guys, in the comments, back me up on this. We have told men for years that their masculinity is toxic. Some men, as they got interested in dating, that's literally all they know, is to stay away from women, is to not bother them, and definitely don't approach them. So there is nothing wrong with a woman approaching a man. That shows confidence. And you know what? I don't even know if this stat is true. I didn't do much research into this, but I did see that 86% of women who make the first move end up married. So, I mean, come on, that's pretty good. I mean, I don't even care if that's not even a true statistic. Hell, let's run with that. But guys, back me up in the comments. Say, yeah, you would love that. Or women say, yeah, I made the first move and I'm now engaged, married, whatever. I'm telling you, that's just the way it's got to be. You don't have to like it. I mean, I'm sure guys didn't like when they were being called, when their masculinity, when their whole being was called toxic. They didn't like that. So start making the first move. And again, you don't have to like it. You don't have to like having to make the first move. You could still have a traditional relationship after that. This is just getting you in a damn relationship. And as far as, not liking things, I do things every day that I don't like to do, but it makes me a better person, gets me to my goals. So these are just facts, okay? Women, make the first move.
Women making the first move is just a band-aid on a disaster feminism created. Men are done being pushed, shamed, and accused of toxicity, so most won't approach. If women don't step up, they'll stay single forever. Stop whining about tradition or masculinity. Take responsibility, make the move, and maybe you'll get a man before it's too late. We look at it as a really bad investment. Men have to protect themselves financially and emotionally now too.
Why American men don't want to date American women anymore. A little disclaimer, I do live in the US for the past 7 years. 1. Some American men feel that American women are very entitled. They feel that many American women expect a partner who fit a specific ideal. He has to be smart, attractive, successful, fit. They believe that many American women have unrealistic expectations. They expect their partners to do everything, and they expect their partners to put their needs above their own. 2, because of the rise of radical feminism, there is a loss of femininity among American women, and they even started to adopt some masculine traits. 3, opportunistic behavior. A big percentage of divorces are initiated by women, and usually it's because they prioritize their career and personal growth over their family life. And a lot of men also express some frustration because they feel that there is a lack of commitment and loyalty among American women. And that is why a lot of American men are now dating non-American women, because they believe that non-American women tend to prioritize mutual respect, shared values, and commitment.
Men don't want to date or have a girlfriend or wife because they've been rejected for not being tall, having blue eyes, being rich, muscular, or well-dressed. Yet these same women will accept them to go out to eat, ask for favors, and get upset if they don't comply. Some of us keep trying, thinking she's the one, hoping she'll change. Meanwhile, she's texting other options or hanging out with her friends. What she doesn't realize is that the real one is right in front of her. Later, you often see her pregnant with someone else.
The truth is that the good guys are done with dating.
I think she's pandering a little, but there is a lot of this going on right now. Now, I'm not saying that I'm a good guy. I'm not saying that all good guys are single or that all single guys are good. I'm just saying that a lot of us are kind of here right now. When I was a teenager, I thought dating worked like this. I did not know that this step was going to be here. I guess we could call this a negotiationship. It's when someone is not willing to give 100%. And it always happens when somebody drops the ball. For me, I've experienced a lot of ghosting, a lot of trading up, and it doesn't matter which guy I am. Even if I'm this guy, how do I know you're not gonna just do this? A couple women showed up wearing wedding rings. That does not inspire confidence. The most common thing for me is that we get to this stage and she says she wants to be polyamorous, which means she already is. I even had a crush on someone in 5th grade, and she didn't like me until after college, and we hung out for a month before she told me that she had a boyfriend. I've had some people tell me that I might just be attracting this kind of woman, and maybe that's true, or maybe they just shouldn't be doing these things, but for now I'm just kind of out of ideas.
Negotiationship is crazy accurate. That's going to be a common thing by the end of the year. The polyamorous bit is so true. Every girl we talk to is talking to at least 3 other guys. This perfectly shows why men are done with dating. Good guys get ghosted, traded up, or caught in polyamorous setups, while women juggle options. Men give their all, yet women's games leave them exhausted, distrustful, and checked out forever. And that's it for today on Sigma Traits. Make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and don't forget to ring that notification bell. Support this channel through membership. You can also support through PayPal, link in the description. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. See you all tomorrow.